Next, a grudge match of sorts, with Liberty Bell Danielle looking for a little bit of payback from Angels of Anarchy's Heather Haardkore in a submission match, which is right in Danielle's wheelhouse.
Which is exactly why she asked for that.
This one comes about as a direct result of Heather Haardkore at ringside during last week's title match. She kept becoming directly involved, to the point of the whole thing almost becoming a handicap match for American powers.
Which is why Danielle came to me beating the drum, talked to me about talking to Myron about getting this submission match set up, and well, here we are, so obviously it worked out.
This next contest is a submission match, which can only be won by way of a tap-out, with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, she's NRWO Dual Champion and the reigning Joyce Grable Memorial Champion, All-American Liberty Bell Danielle Heathcote. While she's been trying to stay low-key, Danielle couldn't help but point out everything wrong with the Women's World Tag Titles match, and it's not making excuses. If you're pointing out legitimate discrepancies, but the rules are the rules, and while she has to roll with it, I hear she wouldn't stop beating the drum for this submission match with Heather for all the reasons we've already gone through.
Because she knows it's a sure thing. She knows that she's gonna beat Heather Haardkore with a tap out, because that's what she does. Oh, man.
Her opponent from Seattle, Washington, representing the Angels of Anarchy, here is Heather Haardkore.
Not sure if she's a troublemaker by choice or a jerk magnet by fate, but Heather Haardkore sure seems to get involved in a whole lot of stuff on the outside of the ring in matches that she ain't even a part of. The number 2 lady in the Angels of Anarchy, along with Wendy O. Haardkore and Nikki Judas Haardkore, the current Women's World Tag Team Champions, and you know how much it hurts me to say that, but it is what it is. Heather Haardkore. Well, let's find out how many ways Heather Haardkore might know to make someone tap out, because that is the whole name of the game, and she must know something because she signed on for the match, right? Well, let's find out. Yeah, she's been terribly moody, and I've had to help her relax. Well, this should be interesting. Willie Johnson rings the bell. Here we go. They lock up center ring. Danielle countered. Heather Haardkore takes her down on the mat. Heather rounds up Danielle. Hip toss takes her down, followed up with an elbow smash. Heather Haardkore now stretching Danielle, but it ain't a submission. Just softening her up for later, I guess. Heather Haardkore rounds her up. Fisherman Buster. Oh, man. Again, stretching the arm. Danielle offering a whole lot of offense in the first 30 seconds here. Heather Haardkore nails her with a second Fisherman Buster. Sadistic. Like Grace Fenwick. Just doing it to hurt her. Oh, man, are you kidding me? A third time around for the Fisherman Buster from Heather Haardkore. Slams Danielle's head down to the canvas. She sure seems to have one-dimensional thinking. A rebound off the ropes. Misses with the drop kick. Danielle taking advantage of the mistake. Goes right into an armbar. And that's a possible submission. Heather Haardkore turns it around, drops a knee into the head of Danielle Heathcote. Danielle counters with a shot to the midsection. They lock up again. Heather Haardkore escorts Danielle to the corner, slams her head into the turnbuckle. Pitches her to the outside. She's hanging on from the middle rope. Rebound off the rope. Oh, man, on a drop kick takes Danielle to the outside. Heather Haardkore gonna take it outside, and you're not gonna get a submission out there. She's just gonna be out there doing damage. Oh, man, what an arm drag from Heather Haardkore. Going right back to stretching the arms of Liberty Bell Danielle. Followed up with a stomp to the head. Danielle counters with a dragon screw. Rounds up Heather Haardkore. Pitches her right into the ring steps, and she caught all the corners. Oh, man. Danielle winds up the arm and snaps it. Oh, man. Heather Haardkore rounded up to her feet. Danielle figuring out what to do. A hard slap, a chop, a second chop, a third chop. Again into the barricade goes Heather Haardkore. Danielle with an uppercut. Takes her down, follows it up with a couple of stomps. Danielle lines up the arm, throws the switch on both of them, snaps both arms. Liberty Bell Danielle rounds up Heather Haardkore again. The referees count at 9. Heather Haardkore locks up Danielle, hurls her towards the other side. Heather Haardkore rounds up Danielle, a hip toss, takes her down, followed up with an arm breaker. Heather Haardkore still hasn't even tried to get a tap out. Kick to the midsection. A kick, another kick. And Heather Haardkore sets it up, a chicken wing suplex. Danielle Heathcote on the outside. And the referee's count's getting awful tight. Heather Haardkore figuring out where to go next. And time's wasting. A kick to the midsection, a chop. And a Hurricane Rana to Danielle. And a wicked elbow to the back of the head. Heather Haardkore, real aggressive. But so far, oh man, just gouged in the face. Oh man. Isn't about trying to get a submission. He's just trying to hurt Danielle, man. Danielle makes her way back inside the ring. Heather Haardkore follows her on in. Danielle to the right. Fails to connect with the double shot. Heather Haardkore with another hip toss. Danielle with a dragon screw. And now stretching the arm of Heather Haardkore. Now Danielle Heathcote starting to rebound here a little bit. Look at this. Well, Fisherman Buster. Payback to Heather Haardkore for earlier. Danielle with a hard slap. A second. A chop. Another chop. And a spinning punch that takes Heather Haardkore down the canvas. Danielle all the way up on the top turnbuckle, stands and all the way up here. Heather Haardkore to her feet, and whoa! A chop right across the top of the head. Heather Haardkore, her leg just fell off the bottom rope, man, wow. Danielle goes right back to stretching the arm of Heather Haardkore. And she's definitely softening her up for a submission down the road. And so far, you get to see any real submissions. Heather Haardkore, with a couple of hard rights, separates herself from Danielle, locks her up. Has her up over the shoulder, Danielle slips out the back door, delivers a chop block behind the knee. Down goes Heather. Danielle flips her around, drags her just about center ring. Rolling elbow across the back of Heather Haardkore. Liberty Bell Danielle winds it up. Oh, here we go. Here's the first submission of the match. She is stretching the knees. Willie Johnson watching it, but Danielle releases the hold. And she sets up possibly for the next one. And there it is. Oh, man. A nasty armbar. Referee Willie Johnson checking Heather Haardkore. Danielle really stretching that arm. Oh, that is a painful move. Danielle again releasing the hold. Heather Haardkore counters with a kick to the head. Standing drop kick takes Danielle down to the canvas. Followed up with a stomp to the midsection. Heather Haardkore setting it up. Hey, look, we finally got a submission, and now we can't see it because the camera is not in the right position. And it's a submission, but so far, from what I can see, she doesn't look like she's going to tap out. Danielle responds with a couple of elbows, gets herself out of that hold, and the cameraman's fired. Heather Haardkore has Danielle up over the shoulders. Look at this. An airplane spin into a neck breaker. Oh, that is unique. Heather Haardkore stalking Danielle Heathcote. Kick to the midsection. Has her up. Whoa! Nasty slam. Followed up with another stomp. Danielle slips out the back door, delivers a kick behind the knee. Rounds up Heather Haardkore. Inverted suplex. Nicely done by Liberty Bell Danielle. Danielle rounds up Heather again. And whips her out onto the apron. A hard right hand. Danielle joins her out on the apron. Has her all the way up, drops her all the way down on the lip of the apron. And now we're on the outside again with the ref starting to count all over again. An arm snap from Liberty Bell Danielle. Danielle sets it up. Oh, nasty. Oh, what a backbreaker from Liberty Bell Danielle. Heather Haardkore on the receiving end of the business here. Danielle makes her way back inside the ring. Takes herself back outside the ring again. Double shot to the midsection to Heather Haardkore. With this cravat suplex from Liberty Bell Danielle to Heather Haardkore on the outside of the ring. Again, this is a submission match. Snap suplex from Heather Haardkore. Danielle rounded up again. Look at this. Heather Haardkore driving the knee into the arm of Liberty Bell Danielle. Heather makes her way back inside the ring. This match has gone on for a while now. Oh, look at this. Heather Haardkore still so far hasn't really tried to get a tap out. We got one that we didn't even see. Danielle on the outside, still reeling from the beating she just caught on the outside. Uh-oh, she's going in there angry. That ain't good. Danielle with a couple of shots, swings and misses. Pitched into the far corner. Heather Haardkore countered by Danielle. Danielle locks up. Whips Heather to the ropes. Out and over onto the floor. Well, that was an Irish whip that had some whip on it. Danielle Heathcote standing center ring as Heather Haardkore makes her way back inside. A hard right from Danielle. Locks up Heather. Sets her up against the ropes. And bounces her off the ropes with hard forearms. Down goes Heather Haardkore. A stomp to the midsection that misses. Whoa! Whoa, that was pretty cool. Heather Haardkore with a pretty impressive move there. Slams Danielle's head down to the canvas. Makes her way up to the top turnbuckle. Danielle on one knee, just about to stand herself up. Here goes Heather. Double axe handle. Heather Haardkore rounds Danielle up again. And another fisherman buster. Man, that is a vicious move right there. Heather with a slap, a right, another right, a kick to the midsection, and an axe kick. Oh man, well that was just wicked. But you're not going to get a submission that way. Out there just trying to be sadistic like Grace Fenwick, I'm telling you. Danielle catching all kinds of hell here. Another face gouge from Heather Haardkore. I doubt you're going to get a tap out that way, young lady. Oh, she's just really laying it in. Danielle slips out, delivers another kick behind the knee. Rounds up Heather Haardkore. And another inverted suplex from Liberty Bell Danielle. Kick to the head from Heather Haardkore. Danielle walks her up. Has her up. Whoa! Quick counter from Heather Haardkore. She charges. Whoa! That was beautiful. Heather Haardkore with some fancy moves here. There's a hip toss. There's a stomp. Heather rounds up. Danielle slant. Oh, wow. Another knee into the arm of Liberty Bell Danielle. Heather Haardkore stalking Danielle. Kick to the midsection. Sets it up. Oh, another slam. But so far, no submissions. There we go. Another standing drop kick. Heather Haardkore with a kick to the midsection. And still another fisherman buster. Followed up with another stomp. Danielle slips out again. Delivers another kick to the knee of Heather Haardkore. Locks her up. Heather being escorted to the far corner, head first into the turnbuckle. Danielle lines it up, gets counter whipped, leaps over it. Wow, that was beautiful. Rebound off the rope, swing and a miss from Heather Haardkore, and a clothesline from Danielle Heathcote that takes down Heather Haardkore. Liberty Bell Danielle with a stomp to the head. Danielle, right center ring, lines it up. There's the crossface. Heather Haardkore with no place to go. She is tapping out. That is it. Liberty Bell Danielle defeating Heather Haardkore of the Angels of Anarchy by submission in this tap-out match. Wow, man.
The time And your winner, Liberty Bell Danielle Heathcote.
Talk about winning on a safe bet. Danielle Heathcote knew all along that where Heather Haardkore might know a few submission moves, the Liberty Bell knows 3 times as many, and it really showed. Heather's attempts were few and far between. Heather, like everyone else it seems, was just looking to hurt and maybe injure Danielle all over again, but Heather sure had to tap out at the end.
Well, that's a load off my mind. Alright, we got a whole lot more still coming up, so stick around.